Hi, and welcome to Positivity-tea with Marianne. This is my mug for today, just a pretty mug. And I'm drinking winter spice because it's a chilly day and we're due for a snowstorm tomorrow. Every week I try to think of what is exactly what I like to share with you for the Sunday Positivity. And decided today to talk about positivity and why I think it matters. One of the people I studied was Dr. Bruce Lipton. He is a cellular biologist, and he had done experiments with the cells, and he was talking about how when we think negative thoughts, one thing happens in our body, and when we think positive thoughts, something else happens. So here's what he did, and I did a little experiment with this, but don't have it handy right now. He basically cloned some cells. So the two sets of cells were identical. In one petri dish, he put one batch of cloned cells, and in the other petri dish, he put the others. I haven't been talking much today, so my mouth is having trouble getting going here. That's okay, though. That's life. What he did with one batch, he bathed those cells in the hormones that the brain releases when we have negative thoughts. Things like adrenaline and cortisol. Cortisol is the one that we always associate with stress and belly fat, and adrenaline is, an emergency, fight or flight. It floods our body, and then it just, once it leaves, we feel like, for me, I feel like a wet noodle after that. The other petri dish, he flooded with positive hormones, things like serotonin and oxytocin, the hormone that, mother and baby bond with, and dopamine. Those are all the feel-good hormones. What happened was the ones that were bathed in the cortisol and the adrenaline did not do all that great. The other ones thrived. So what do we do with that? The whole point of that is, now we're not going to stop thinking negative thoughts. We can't. It's the way, our brains tend to be wired more in that direction. Life comes at us, but we want to minimize that. This is why I created my course, and why I created this, is to help us deal with what you have to in the negative, but redirect and try to spend more time in the positive, because we want those feel-good hormones. So I did the experiment with marshmallows when I used to do this. I don't think I had read this when I had done the strategies class in the high school, but I taught my program at Rhode Island College for 10 summers with students that needed to brush up before they were fully accepted in September. And I would bring in marshmallows to simulate the cells, and hot water to simulate the good hormones, and hot chocolate to simulate the negative hormones, so they could see what would happen there. So the bottom line at the end is we really want to be getting those good hormones flowing through our body, because our cells are in our bloodstream. That's replacing the hot chocolate and the hot water. It's our bloodstream that gets the effect of what's released by our brain as we feel those emotions. So we want to save the good marshmallows. We want the marshmallows to float and be happy. Basically, we want to save the peeps. That's my campaign. Save the peeps. Save the peeps. So I'm going to put a little picture of this on here, just so you can have it. It's kind of silly. I don't care. So, for me, silly works. Silly is memorable. But in my head, I keep this in the kitchen now. It's a reminder to myself to save the peeps. Keep those marshmallows, my blood cells, surrounded and bathed in those good hormones that come from thinking positive thoughts, doing an act of kindness for somebody else. Anything in that positive vein. We don't have to be positive all the time, but of course, we want to be positive at least some of the time. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. And remember, keep shining and save the peeps.